After 18 years, she's completely asymptomatic. Now it's a 6 months. He keeps sending text message every month, first of every month. Tomorrow I'll get it, I guess, saying that I'm still normal. So it's one patient, but it took that much of effort and this much of thing to get her back. So it doesn't matter. Like, life is not statistics. Sometimes if you have made a difference to one person's life, you can be happy that your work is done. And I've seen a lot of this thing. What does it really mean? It really means, this is for the retina surgeons also. Every drug should have your name. What does that mean? You should customize it to your patients. It's so easy to said and done. The world will customize it as we move on, because your diagnostics, your things are all going to be one arm of your practice. So completely normal because of the way we did, and I'm happy that we could figure out and help her in some way. This is a paper many years back. We had this gentleman coming to us and saying that I'm having pain for 9 years. See, he comes from Indore, and we couldn't really find an answer to it. And we published this also at that point of time. And this is one of the first publications where it showed that he can, this is a neuroma. The nerves had a neuroma which was making him chronically having pain all over his life. Like how you have neuromas, manomas and all. The first time the nerves had, at least we could tell him, because he was treated for psychiatry. His wife used to tell me, and my Hindi is not good, that he has no problem, he only has vehem. I realized there's a word called vehem, called fear in Hindi. And we named this case as vehem case. But we told him that he has got no vehem, he's not a psychological patient, he just has this problem. And the second most important point to the literature we gave was, because of chronic pain, there could be a Bowman's break. You can see that the Bowman's has broken up, the nerve endings is exposed, and he's having this problem. That's where the mathematics come into picture. This was my PhD talk. I looked at everything. So when you look at the disease as a total, you'll probably get a better answer. Genetics, tears, systemic nutritions, and that is what made this book. And so disease should never be looked at one aspect, because if you look at one dimension, you'll always probably lose the right picture. And this is one of the dimensions. When we used to work on keratoconus, we used to take epithelium, send it to the lab, and we used to say, okay, this is the markers, this is the collagen, this is a different level of markers, and we used to make a story of it. I'm just giving an example of looking at one dimension. One day we thought the keratoconus may not be the same, because your area of weakness may be different in one area compared to the other. So what we said was, this is accidental. Then I said, let's look at a disease by taking epithelium different from the cone and to the periphery, send it to the lab and see what happens. And this became one of my most important landmark paper, that it showed that if you have a disease of keratoconus, it is different from the center to the periphery. And how does it make? That is what made today's customized treatments, where new treatments are designed because of this. You keep moving. You keep asking questions. I started asking questions, why is keratoconus progressing? This is a patient I seen in 2015, 2018. You can see that the nerves have completely disappeared. So question is this a stromal disease or disease related to the nerves? And that's the question which probably I'll find an answer in a few years' time as we move on. Started asking question, vitamin D, people used to make fun, everybody in the country has vitamin D, that shouldn't be a problem, but vitamin D deficiency also could be genetics, and you have to keep publishing. If you don't publish what you find, that means it just remains a story, and if it remains a story, it's of no value to anybody. Finally, connecting a little bit into the mathematics, we started looking at a new thing, which is the lens biophysics model, looking at how the lens is accommodating each stress. We have some new lab equipment. This is how a real-time accommodation of the lens to a stimulus. So we can virtually study that people don't accommodate the same way all the time. This is a great tool in cataract, refractive lens or retina, whatever you want to do, because the way they accommodate. For example, look at this video out here. It's very interesting. The question was, why does some keratoconus patients still read 6/6 with glasses? Is because this lens is accommodating exactly the mirroring of what is happening on the cornea. The lens accommodates not only to that area of irregularity. This is a phenomenal insight into why we should not touch some patients and try doing any surgeries on them, because once we do it, the compensation goes off. So finally, the biomarkers of happiness is all about finding biomarkers, imaging, genetics, and then build an AI-based system on it. Working on the kits, the retina prototype kit is ready, where you can take your aqueous and find whether you have VEGF high, low, should we give more Lucentis, less Lucentis. Same thing applies to the cornea also. What I'm getting into the next 10 years or more than that is getting into how the genetics is going to affect our system. And we have built a very good team. Dr. Shomi Bhattacharya here, the gentleman in between, used to head the gene therapy unit of Moorfields. If you go back and look at the first gene ever discovered in retinitis pigmentosa, was his name. The people who did the gene therapy, the two gentlemen from Moorfields were his postdoc PhD students. So he's retired there and he's joined us. So the facility to create gene therapy is class 100, and you have something like 18 different rooms. It's quite exciting what we need to do all that. This is pure. And entering each room, you need to have a shower, and it's like a spacesuit with a shower. And each room has to. Just a simple giving an example of what it takes sometimes to create all these things, but it's still fun. And I think with God willing, everything will go as we planned. Finally, in my talk, a lot of youngsters out here, whether you do become an accidental or non-accidental, the biggest challenge for a lot of you is, why should I, when I do something, I'm not good with Hindi again, it's just about this word here, has killed more dreams than anything in this world. So you can do anything you want, and if you are very passionate to find an answer, you will get it. I thank the MM Joshi family again for this opportunity, and for Srinivas being such a good friend, and for his nice words. Thank you.
I think we should all give him a standing ovation for this award that we have given him.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.